So let's talk about the collective heaviness that is going on right now and how you can see it reflected back in the astrology and what we're currently all moving through. So if it's felt a little bit heavy, a little intense, maybe you're having to face some fears or face some dark, heavy things in your life, let me tell you why. We've literally had every single personal planet. Those are the faster moving planets, the planets that are more personal to us, that are closer to us, that determine our character, our personality. So we've had big parts of ourselves all going through this transformation as they cross over Pluto. It's like a little part of us, moves through a transformation. First, the part of us that's connected to our values, Venus, the planet that's connected to what we value, what we place value in, relationships, how we do relationships. That's gone through a metamorphosis, a death and rebirth process. After Venus, we've had Mercury also cross over Pluto. Mercury, the planet of our mind, of communication, of how we express ourselves, go through its own mini death and rebirth process. We've had the sun cross over Pluto. That is our identity, our energy, our light that we're shining into the world. It's gone through a huge transformation. And now this is the last planet. This is the final hour of this, the last leg of this transit, that is Mars, the planet of action, of our desires, of what's important to us, what we want to take action on, the things that we desire the most, the way that we move towards the things that we want in life. If you're feeling confused on how to take action right now, it's because this planet, the planet of action, is literally going through a death and rebirth process. It's not going to last forever. It's just a few days long. These planets are transiting over Pluto, so these planets all move faster than Pluto does. Pluto's going to stay there for a long time. So if you have planets or points around 3 degrees of Aquarius or any of the fixed signs, Pluto's going to be doing a number on your chart for a while. And it's not negative. It's not always an awful, dark, heavy experience. Pluto wants us to grow and evolve. And so it'll present, the evolution that is needed at this time in our lives. It's not comfortable. It's not easy, but this is like our life's greatest work, to choose to face the things that scare us, the things that are standing in the way of us connecting on a deeper level with our personal power. That is the highest expression of Pluto. It is like the shaman energy, the person that is not afraid of their shadows. They're not afraid of the darkness. They're able to kind of traverse through both worlds. And so I wanted to highlight just this part of the chart right here. And in addition to that, if we can think about the time of the year that we're in right now, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in the dead of winter still. We're still in technically 2025. We're still closing out a year. This is the very end of the year. If we're not following the Gregorian calendar because it doesn't make any sense and it doesn't connect us to the natural rhythms and cycles of the world, if we're following nature, we can look around and we can see that now is the time where it's cold out. We're going inward. We're hibernating more. We're maybe crying a lot. We're shedding skin. We're being more like in hermit mode. We just moved through Capricorn season, and Capricorn is literally connected to the hermit card. So there's an essence and energy of needing to be alone, needing to go inward, needing to reflect, needing to, reflect on the previous year and kind of, tie up the loose ends, plant the seeds now in the winter of what we're wanting to grow in springtime. So if you're not feeling the rush of energy, you're not feeling super upbeat, like that is in alignment with nature, with the cycles. That's what winter time is for, is fucking relaxing and like going inward, preparing for the upcoming seasons. So yeah, if it feels heavy right now, or if it's been feeling heavy, if it comes in waves, but maybe the last few weeks has felt particularly heavy, not even mentioning like what's going on in the fucking world right now, especially in the United States. God, this country, like all of the people that are so empathetic, if you're watching this, you probably feel the energy of the cosmos, of the planets. And so you're feeling also the collective energy of this collective sadness and this, it's like a purge that's going on, this collective, like bringing the shit that's been buried up to the surface, looking at it clearly, like we see it right in front of our face, like all of these awful things going on around the world, especially in this country, the atrocities, the killings, all these things, like we're seeing it very clearly. So if you're very sensitive to the energy around you, then that could also be weighing on you, in addition to this planetary transit. And this is really also connected to what's going on in the world. As above, so below, it's all reflected. So we can see the protests and the riots reflected back in the chart here. Aquarius literally rules the people. It rules the collective. Aquarius, of all the signs in the zodiac, Aquarius rules revolution, it rules anarchy, it rules rebellion, it rules protesting. Like, this is the energy that we're in. And Pluto's like, no more. Like, Pluto will burn everything down that was not built in integrity, that is like a false sense of power, a false, like anything that's false, that's lies, that's built on not stable ground. Pluto will destroy it. And so we can see that taking place in our external reality, in the world around us. And then you can also probably feel it on a micro level, within your own life. And it's not going to be super heavy or super traumatic maybe for every single person. Transformation can look different at different points in time throughout our life. I would say if this is aspecting your chart in a really powerful way, if you have planets or points around the beginning degrees of Aquarius, like around 3 degrees of Aquarius, any of the fixed signs, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, then you're probably feeling it on a pretty deep level. But for all of us, we're moving through a bunch of mini transformations, a bunch of mini upgrades, if you will, as every single planet has crossed over Pluto, the planet that rules change, transformation, regeneration of the human spirit. Pluto rules our personal power. Pluto wants us to live a more aligned, into like authentic, integrated life. It wants us to do what we say we're going to do, to live by the things that we believe in, by our morals, our values, to do what is right, to, the power to go to the right people, to be in the right people's hands. Again, Pluto wants to expose anything that was built not in integrity, that was built in falsehoods and lies and like sneaky manipulation tactics. Pluto wants to expose it all. And so we can see that being exposed in the world around us. Maybe there's things happening within your individual life as well, things that are coming up to the surface that are needing to be looked at, that need our attention at this time. So yes, I just wanted to kind of put some words to the energy that we're all feeling and how the astrology is so beautifully reflecting, what's playing out in our lives. We can see it on the global scale, and we can also see it on an individual scale within our own personal lives, the transformation that's taking place. And if it doesn't have to feel super intense and super heavy. You could be feeling that from what's going on in the world, but it can also be like this kind of powerful inner transformation that's taking place, where we're stripping away the things that we no longer need, like stripping away the things that are, I hate to say that, are not serving us because it's so overused, but like stripping away old beliefs or old thought patterns. We're literally closing out the year of the snake. So it feels like, possibly violently shedding the skin, peeling the skin off, like to be in our true form, in a more full, complete form of our most authentic expression, if you can write all those metaphors. So yes, I hope that this is helpful and supports you in working with this current wild energy we have going on. Ultimately, we have to love and respect every single planet. And I have so much respect for Pluto, because this is the planet that forces change, that forces growth, that forces the soul's evolution at all costs. So lean into it, lean into the discomfort, lean into the things that are coming up. They're coming up for a reason, and if we're feeling the heaviness of the world, that's why it's so important to have so many tools in our toolbox at this time, different practices, different rituals that we can call on every single day to stay grounded and rooted and in love within ourselves. And then we can share that, in this crazy fucking world around us. So, okay, that's all.